So, today, an update. I previously made a video of all the officer-involved shootings that made headlines, and it also included the officers that died by someone shooting them. But an update on one of the cases was Philandro Castile. A jury turned out and said that they were not guilty. The officer was not guilty. The jury was in a predominantly Democratic city. It did include 2 black people who said the officer was not guilty. So it seems to me not only the Democratic Party is not going to, the people that are Democrats are going to let officers off, but even people in black people's own race are willing to let officers off. Because we had, like I said, it was a unanimous decision of not guilty. And it included 1 black man and 1 black woman. So, as it seems to me, the issue is that it's not just party. I mean, Democrats are letting officers off on the jury. But it's also race, because you had 2 black people who said the officer didn't do wrong. Only problem is, it does seem the officer did do wrong. I mean, if you look at the video and you look at everything, he basically was following the officer's orders. And the officer got nervous. As the prosecutor said, the officer looked like he was nervous and too ready to shoot someone. You know? I mean, even the National Review, which is a conservative source, basically said this was a miscarriage of justice, and that the officer should have been guilty. Now, because he was a concealed carry holder, he was a law-abiding citizen. Castile was a law-abiding citizen. You don't get that concealed carry if you got a felony, on your record. I mean, so we see a miscarriage of justice, but not only from Democrats on the jury who decided that the officer wasn't guilty, but also black people from the same race as Philandro Castile. I wonder if it involved a gun. Because a lot of Democrats, white and black, are saying people should not be carrying guns. Has anybody looked at that fact? That maybe the whites and the blacks on the jury said the officer was justified because Philandro had a gun legally? And a lot of blacks and whites think that people should not be armed. I think I'm looking at it a different perspective. They said the officer was justified because Philandro Castile was legally carrying a gun. And the blacks and whites on the jury, who were predominantly Democrat, decided, well, we think everybody should be disarmed. That is a good perspective to look at. And I think the NAACP should look into that, because that was probably the reason why they said the officer was justified, just because Philandro Castile was carrying a gun legally. He had a permit, he had everything, he was following the orders, but all because he had a gun. The blacks on the jury, the 2 blacks on the jury, and the whites that are Democrat said he was guilty. Said the officer was not guilty, but Philandro was guilty. So, that's the point I want to point out. Thank you.